As with all things, we are over-familiar with some passages in the Bible, and this is one of them. In my Father's house there are many mansions. Of course, they are comforting words when we hear them, comforting because they are familiar, and we hear them in a particular way, in a particular situation. But this is John's Gospel, remember. It's never as you first hear it. It's actually better than we imagine. It's one of these passages that we've come to understand as an end point. This is what we're aiming for. We're all going to get a big house and there is room for us all. We're all going to get a balcony, and next door to us will be neighbours who will be Baptist and Catholic and Episcopal. And the more generous of us will include Buddhist and Muslim and Sikh, etc., expanding God's grace beyond any one particular faith. For we sense God isn't exclusive. God probably isn't even a Christian. But if you were to hear these words when they were first spoken, that's not how you would hear them at all. In fact, they would be quite different. These words have nothing to do with endpoints, with some sense of arrival or even reward. There is nothing about them that pictures a mansion or dwelling place at the end of things, where we all sit comfortably looking out at the view from our mansions with a glass in one hand and a plate of crisps and dips in the other. If you heard these words when they were first spoken, you'd hear the word dwelling place, but know it as a temporary stopping off place. Think about the West Highland Way. Well, I try not too often to think about the West Highland Way, as I have too many bad memories of Duke of Edinburgh hikes in the rain and a heavy rucksack and a wet tent, and it got heavier and heavier, and you knew that when you eventually got to pitch the tent, you then have to make something to eat. Well, that's another thing you were carrying, a wee stove. And so you ended up living in pot noodles and Mars bars. But nowadays, you have organisations that will carry your rucksack for you. And when you get there, the tent is already pitched, and there is water on, and there is even proper food and a place to stay. Well, that is what dwelling place meant for Jesus' first hearers. You'd be travelling by caravan, but a group will have gone ahead to prepare a place, and you'd set it with food and hospitality so that the travellers would have a place of comfort for the night. There are many such places, says Jesus, on the way of faith, along the kingdom way, the house of my Father, as Jesus puts it. This is less about some well-proportioned mansion to end your time, but far more about welcome and hospitality and community for people who are travelling. On the way of faith, and remember, faith is a way of living, a journey of life, and not a set of doctrines to believe. Along that way, you'll find dwelling places, places of hospitality, of rest, communities of companions who are also on the way. We're too often focused on the outcome of Christianity, that it is leading to something, some heavenly dwelling. Well, perhaps it is, but this isn't the passage that tells you about that. This passage is one that encourages us to keep travelling, keep going, keep on keeping on. But in the promise that along the way, as Jesus called himself, there are resting places, sanctuary, pauses, places of hospitality that remind us we aren't on the way as individuals. We are on this way together, and together we share the journey and the hospitality with all who travel this way of faith, whatever faith it is. It's on that journey, it's on that way, it's in that hospitality we discover our companion, and our companion is Jesus Christ. Let not your hearts troubled be. You've already got what you need. You already believe into God, don't you? Then believe also into me, for there are many dwelling places along the way, and I am already ahead of you, preparing those places for you, of welcome, of comfort, of hospitality. And if I am already doing that, I shall be there for you. I shall be hospitality and welcome for you on the journey of life. Where that hospitality is found and felt and needed, that's where I'll be for you. I am the way you travel. I am the truth you follow. I am the path of life you are on. And if I am the way of life, if I am the hospitality, the welcome, the generosity along the way, then everyone who travels meets me in these things. In fact, you can't get to where you're going without meeting me, without coming through hospitality and welcome. And in knowing me like this, you have known the love of God. And when you ask, show me the love of God, believe what you see and know what you have experienced on the way. You've met love in me, and you've met me in love.
Let us draw our thoughts and minds together in our closing prayer. Today, there will be a short time of silence during the prayer to allow us to remember and pray for those who are in our own hearts and minds at this time. Loving God, another week draws nearer to its close, but time does not stop as we journey on. Another week of unknowing, waiting for answers to what seem like unanswerable questions, and praying that this week things will be different. That this week the slow return of being able to meet up with family and friends can begin. Outside, the beautiful weather masks the mixed emotions, anxiety and sorrow that we hold on to as we move through this pandemic. Gracious God, may we find a place in you to rest our weary hearts and minds and souls, where we can reach out and find a welcome word and safe place to be on this journey. The quiet stillness of the streets hides the busyness of everyone working behind the scenes to keep us safe, protect and care for us, and ensure we have food and provisions. Loving God, be with those working in all areas of work, often in difficult and traumatic situations. Comfort them and hold them in their time of need as they comfort others. For all volunteers offering hospitality and joy and a lifeline to the most vulnerable, may we recognize their true worth and the gospel message being lived out in their day-to-day. Remind us to help them. In the sorrow and grief of those who mourn, in the worry felt by those who are sick, from those who are unsafe and cannot find a way out, may we do what we can. May we offer hospitality in new ways, a friendly voice, or a comforting message to sustain them in these dark times. And by doing so, may your light shine through, offering a glimmer of hope for a more peaceful future. And now we bring our own prayers to you, for those we remember and mourn and love. In the silence, hear us now. These are our prayers. Amen.